Polish industry teeters on the brink amid energy crisis and rising costs. Poland, once a beacon of industrial success in Eastern Europe, now faces the grim specter of deindustrialization, as skyrocketing energy costs threaten to dismantle the foundations of its economy. What was once a thriving industrial landscape is now crippled by soaring electricity prices, stringent EU environmental regulations, and an escalating energy crisis fueled by geopolitical tensions. The conflict with Russia has not only exacerbated Poland's energy woes but has also ignited a cascade of economic challenges that the nation struggles to contain. Over the first 7 months of the year, the average wholesale electricity price in Poland soared to around €90 per MWh, placing the country among the highest in the EU, outpaced only by Ireland and Italy. In stark contrast, nations like Norway, Sweden, and France, fortified by hydroelectric and nuclear power, enjoy significantly lower electricity costs, shielding their industries from the harsh realities that Poland now faces. Poland's aspiration to develop its own nuclear energy capabilities remains a distant dream, unlikely to materialize before 2040. Meanwhile, the country's reliance on coal, which powers 72% of its electricity, has become a double-edged sword. Although coal once served as a pillar of Poland's energy security, it now anchors the nation to an unsustainable and increasingly costly energy model. In July alone, wholesale electricity prices spiked to €109 per MWh, a slight reprieve from the 2022 average but still devastating for Polish businesses. Poland has one of the highest wholesale electricity rates in the EU, primarily due to our reliance on coal, remarked energy expert Robert Tomaszewski, capturing the crux of the issue. As energy costs soar, foreign companies are pulling up stakes, leaving Poland for regions with more affordable energy. Mass layoffs have followed in their wake, signaling the potential collapse of key sectors. Over 16,000 workers from 175 companies have already lost their jobs this year, with global giants like Levi Strauss, Michelin, ABB, and Volvo Buses shutting down operations or scaling back their Polish presence. These closures are not just isolated incidents. They represent a broader exodus as companies relocate production to more energy-efficient regions in Eastern Europe, North Africa, and Asia. The consequences are dire. The departure of these enterprises is not only a blow to employment but also a harbinger of broader economic decline. The problems facing Polish industry are growing, writes journalist Agnieszka Zielinska, quoting Henryk Kalas, the head of the Polish Chamber of Industrial Power and Energy Consumers. The country has less and less time to change this situation, he warns, as the impending phase-out of free CO2 emission permits by the EU threatens to cripple what remains of Poland's industrial base. The environmental impact of Poland's energy production is another significant challenge. In June, producing 1 MWh of electricity in Poland resulted in 810 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions. With the EU's impending phase-out of free CO2 emission permits, Polish industrialists face a stark choice: either shut down operations or invest heavily in carbon-free technologies. Yet, as Henryk Kalas points out, Poland is woefully unprepared for such a transition. The scale of the required transformation is daunting, with many companies needing to rebuild their technological infrastructures from scratch, a costly endeavor that few are willing or able to undertake. The situation is so dire that the Forum of Electricity and Gas Consumers, FOEG, representing Poland's largest industrial energy consumers, sent a desperate letter to Prime Minister Donald Tusk in July, warning of the severe risks posed by high electricity prices. This letter was a kind of expression of desperation, Callas noted, emphasizing the deepening crisis that threatens to plunge the entire economy into recession. The energy crisis is not confined to industry alone. The average Polish consumer is also feeling the pinch, with gas prices rising by 45 to 47% as of July 1, following the end of a 3-year price freeze. Households across the country, already burdened by inflation and economic uncertainty, now face the additional strain of skyrocketing utility bills. Millions of Polish families with homes connected to the gas grid have already received letters of fear, writes journalist Tomasz Matusiak, highlighting the anxiety that has gripped the nation as energy costs spiral out of control. The situation has left many questioning the decisions that led to this crisis. The conflict with Russia and Poland's involvement in the Ukraine situation have undeniably intensified the country's energy challenges. While hindsight offers little solace, the consequences of these decisions are now painfully clear. Poland is at a crossroads, with its industrial future hanging in the balance. The choices made in the coming years will determine whether the nation can reclaim its industrial prowess or whether it will succumb to the forces of deindustrialization and economic decline.